Good morning, everyone. This is my team. My name is Kai. This is David.
My name is Feng Junkang.
My name is Yong Heng.
Eleanor.
Chen Ying.
And today, our topic for presentation is about Asian culture and the global consumer. The topic and content we will talk about roughly is global consumer in Asian culture, and the relationship between modernizations and westernizations. First, I will pass to my colleague, Chen Ying.
Okay, first one we will talk about the global consumer and the actual country. Okay, we call the actual people is the group and the Western is the personas because the people in actuals they want to follow another's customs. They want to share their idea, but in the Western, people just want to follow themselves. For example, one companies, people in actuals they have idea, but they cannot communicate with their boss, their management, because they think they just a little stuff. I cannot talk about my boss. This one is the actuals, the actuals power distance, and in the Western is different. For example, the same companies. People in Western, oh, I am the little staff, but I have a good idea. I want to talk about my boss. And in the social pressures, for example, people see their friend have a very good productions. For example, the iPhone in China, and almost people they don't know how to really use the iPhone, but they just want to buy because they think my friend have, I have to use it. But in the Western, which one I like, which one let me feel comfortable, okay, I will choose it. So the next one is the social share. The social shares in the actuals, people want to use the Facebook, WeChat, because if we use the Facebook, WeChat, we can communicate with another people by language. But in the Western, they just want to use the trends. I just share a photo. You like, you choose. You don't like, you can give up. In the productions, actual people very focused the brain. They think the high level brain can help my level to impose height. But in the Western, is the different. Okay, next one, we know the actual people more than the 15 populations, and they have the different religions, and the actual economic is very fast growth returns. Okay, so if we talk about the food, because the actual they have the different religions. The different religions they can not eat another food. They just want to eat themselves food. For example, the Muslims in actuals they just can eat halal food. The Buddhists they just want to eat some fruit or vegetables, rice. They cannot eat meat. And in the Tibetans in China, they cannot eat without fish. Okay, so if we do the halal food, we know in Asians they have the 13% population is Muslim, and they are very focused their food because they just want to eat the halal food. So if we do the halal food, this have a good chance. Okay, next slide I will give my friend.
Okay, here we are talking about the Asian culture. Okay, Asian culture is 50% of the world populations, and the culture is represented the people behave and their roles as members of societies. And the Asian culture, we are calling them as collectivism. So the first point, the collectivism is Asian culture a very strong concern about acceptance, along emotional feelings and anxiety about exclusions. Asian culture mostly are very follow their others members societies thinking, their ideas. So actually they are along the emotional feelings is based on their emotions. Okay, the next point is the relationship in Asian culture is very important for them because of the power distance influence. The low power people cannot directly communicate with the high power level people. So therefore, they have the way that if you, I give an example, just if you want to deal a business with some particular country, especially with the government, giving a gift is one of their way to communicate with their government for them to easy to get a permit. That's why this will affect the reputation of country because of the corruption problem. As you can see the picture there, the red color is mostly based on Asian country. This is red color is a high corruption level, and the orange color mostly is in the Western. Okay, the next one is self-esteem. In Asian culture, they have a high and low self-esteem. It's based on their own skill, achievement, and their personal quality. And also the emotional satisfaction. I would like to provide example. If I am a people in Asian culture, I wearing a Rolex watch, the high quality watch and a high luxury watch. If I wearing a luxury watch, I will think that my personal quality is in a high level, so I will increase my self-esteem level. Okay, the next point is the group conformity. In Asian culture, they are very fear of low acceptance. As we can see the picture there, they will follow others member, what they do, what they think, what their ideas. Just follow, but don't without any reason because they fear of low acceptance. They are very worried about their other member cannot accept what they think, what they do. So the next one is the status. In Asian culture, the hierarchy of needs, the highest level is not self-actualization, it's the status because the face is very important for in Asian culture. So the effect of the collective orientation of the all confusion influence market. So the marketers can do is a strategy for overcoming the entrance loyalty and phenomena. Evidence is qualitative research and particular importance must be placed on sensitive and precise recruitment and moderating skill. Target user segment are elevated in terms of their elements, position relating to the general cultural values of the religions. So next I would like to pass to my next group member, David.
Product diffusion is a process that a new product to be accepted in the market. The speed of the diffusion itself can be defined as how fast of the consumer goods are able to spread from one consumer to another. Beforehand, let's take a look at the product diffusion curve of Asian and the Westerners. Two stages that we need to pay attention is the innovator stage and the lagger stage, where we can see that Asian consumer, which represent in the red color, is rather low in adopts of the new product at the innovator stage as compared with Westerners. However, when the adoption reaches the majority stage, the laggers can be fast happening all in sudden. Should explain that Asian consumer is reluctant to try new product. From the cultural dimension point of view, Asians is described by Mush and Hofstede that they are collectivism with a high uncertainty avoidance. They worry, they feel insecure to try any new product that put them in an ambiguous state. Therefore, they heavily rely on the word-of-mouth communication, where the communication is centralized and spread from one people. And because of the homophilous communication, these people will keep talking the same topic and spread the word about favorable attributes of a certain product or the brand itself. And the adoption can be raised to the majority stage, all in sudden, even overnight. So, however, in a high context aspect communication model, as explained by Paul, such adoptions, such an action is actually based on the, because they want to, is influenced by the social group itself. It's not the true behavior. And therefore, we will presume that the adoption is based on the preference of the social group. And therefore, we would like to say that, we will assume saying, if there's adoptions, if the social preference is changed, so the adoption could soon be abandoned, or in some, that's what results to the fast drop in the later stage. The challenge for the market is to understand the needs of the Asian. First, they need to know that the hierarchy of needs from a psychological perspective, which the Asian consumer, first thing, affiliation, admiration, and status is highly prioritized. So Asia, we are able to conclude that they are very people-oriented. Whatever they do, they tend to include and confirm others. And most importantly, the current attitude we observe now is hardly to predict the future behavior because all of this is about social influence. One thing that we need to notice, they have an abstract thinking and very rely on the interpersonal communication. And most importantly, they are typical doer in the customer decision making because firstly, they will do first, feel and learn later, or do first, feel and learn later. Before I conclude my discussion here, I would like to highlight that what the elements actually is lacked in the shoe study. As what we can see that income or the purchasing power is very important because according to the Munrai, the income or purchasing power of a consumer is able to change or shape the values of the culture and eventually influence the consumer behavior. Therefore, I would like to say that in strategizing of the marketing 4Ps, price is playing a very important element here because if a consumer, regardless of the Western or Asian, if the consumer has very limited resources, price and the performance of a particular product or the brand will be heavily focused. However, if a consumer is having wealthy resources, the desire for the hedonic or the emotional image they will for purchase. Therefore, I would like to conclude saying that there's no such categorization of the Asian or the Western consumer because of the tendency of the globalization, we all tend to make a product to sell it to the global consumer. And a very good example is Coca-Cola because what we can see here from product, the blending in the culture of the global consumer with the prices affordable, with a different size, and with the promotion, the blending of the cultures and trends and places to localize it. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Eleanor to present us the next topic, motivation and needs. Eleanor?
Alright, thank you, David. I would like to present about motivation and needs today. Right, everyone here knows that the most popular one will be Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Here, I have a comparison between the West and the Asia and how people actually prioritize their needs. You can see here in the West that the first two, and it's the same as the people in Asia, will be physiological and safety, which is the basic needs for every human being. After that, it will be belonging, prestige, and self-actualization. This will go towards more of individualization, which is individualism, which is always practiced in the Western countries. And it's different for the Asian countries because you can see here, yes, the first two is the same. However, it's a different hierarchy. After that, it will be affiliation, admiration, and status. This goes towards more of the collectivism practice in this culture, which is actually explained by Shute because Shute has already has already explained that the people in Asia, they're actually more concerned over other people's opinions, over other people's suggestions, and they follow the group. They follow their leaders. Whenever their leaders say this is good, then they will follow. Because it's not that they don't have a suggestion of their own, but because what my teammate has mentioned before, they prioritize face, which means that they prioritize what other people think of themselves instead of what they themselves think of themselves, which is very, very different from the individualistic Western countries. Because, well, what they prioritize is what they need. They don't care about what other people think. They don't care about what other people suggest. If they think that, oh, this is important for me, they will buy it. If they think that this isn't important for me, they will just eliminate it. This is what Shute has explained, and this is how I relate it to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. Next, I will talk about the diffusion of innovation. This theory has been clearly and detailedly explained by my groupmate before this, so I will just summarize it in brief. This theory was actually invented by Rogers, and this is actually stating how a new product, an innovating product, how it takes time to diffuse into the new market
and it does it over a few stages, which is 4 stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. The first 2 stages would be early adopters and early majority. In this stage, it could be seen that in the Asian context, percentage of it is much higher. Why? And that would be what qualities make an innovation or spirit in Asian history, in the Asian society. I will explain it in the next slide. Here, there is a comparison between the two divisions of innovation theory in both cultures, which is the Western and the Asian culture. Let us do a comparison. For this, we could see that in the innovators and early majority, it is much shorter in the Western country than it is in the Asian culture, because in the Western culture, you could see here that it actually achieves its maximum optimal height here, and for the Asian culture, it achieves it here. Why so? Because according to Rogers, in the innovators and early majority, it is actually a phase where people will only jump in if there is concrete evidence that this product is actually the best for the market, and people will actually approach the innovators and say, hey, let's cooperate, because well, I think that your product is the best for my market, and I would like to have personal connections with you. Well, like what Shun has explained before, for the Asian people, for the people in Asian countries, they're actually very scared of risks. They are more sensitive to risks, and they want to see if other people are jumping on board, whether or not there is concrete evidence that this is going to be a good product. And if other people are jumping on board, well, there are so many people jumping on board, it must be good, so I will follow suit. This is the Asian thinking. But for the people in the Western countries, they actually think of themselves. If they think that, hey, this product is good, and I think it will be of great use to the market, and this will be an opportunity for me to advance in the business, then they will think, hey, I will do it. I will actually jump aboard in this train. I will use this innovating product. This is what they think and what they do. So this is the difference between it. And because innovators and early majority are also it has shown that it's towards the individualism side, and for late majority and laggards, it's more towards the collectivism side. And you could see that when I've explained using the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that it actually for late majority and laggards, you could see that it is actually more towards the Asian culture. Right, this is a brief explanation of the Asian culture and Western culture. You could see that, like I've already mentioned, that in the Asian culture is more of collectivism, and the Western country is more of individualism. For, like I've mentioned in the diffusion of innovation theory, this has less innovators in the Asian culture because they are more susceptible to fear of risks. And for Western culture, because they are more of individualism, they think more, they are more courageous, they have more innovators in that country. And the major difference between Asian and Western culture is also because of their teaching. For Asian culture, since young, we have been following Confucianism, which is also to teach modesty, patience, and loyalty. This is why they are more slow and susceptible towards receiving new products. Compared to Western culture, they have been taught since young to have high self-esteem and to regard themselves as the most important. Lastly, it will be in the Asian culture, because group leaders, opinions of group leaders are so important. Referral is very, very crucial. Unlike for Western culture, where life cycle products are longer, in Asian culture, life cycle of products are much, much shorter. Alright, I would like to pass this to my next group mate.
In next update, we will talk about modernization and westernizations. Modernization. Are there any relationship between westernizations and modernizations? Westernizations is about culture, religions, in what we believe in. It's a very strong base for individual in society. Next is, can we adapt? This from Western side. Are we global consumer or still pretty Asians? Modernization is one of my team member mentioned adaptations theory. Are we adapting? Which level are we adapting? Do they adapt, or we adapt, or we waiting them to adapt our particular brands? For example, Apple. Are we following because of Americans, or we follow because we think Western brand is the best in the world for us to use it. Next is about bandwagoning. Bandwagoning theory is about balancing, which means everybody joins and target the same things, not adaptations, but standardizations. It's about two cultures, so are we first to do or we first to adapt? Therefore, working together is towards teamwork. There is no individual in Asian culture because of belief. There is no creativity, no innovative. We need to follow up what people are doing, and that's the bandwagoning effect. Next, in modernization theory. Asians always seek for high standards living and willing to pay for luxury Western brands such as Chanel, Apple, YSL instead of local brands. But Asian is experiencing a war to maintain their own identity. They love to show off everything. In social, so modernization is not westernization, neither globalization. And next, westernization and modernization is totally different. And Asian culture is important market for international companies. Why do we say that? As research, 40% of global economic activities is occur in Asians. The number of Asian cities grows more than 120,000. With this figure, Asia will not only be the biggest global producer of goods and services, but also biggest global consumer in the future. As we need to remember, Western consumer is more unmotivated by desire of their individual expressions, and Asian is more on following in social group. Thank you, that's the end of my slide. I would like to invite my members together. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask us. No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.